Hello and welcome to yet another amazing episode. My name is Jacinta. If this is your first time here, please subscribe and like this video and share it, because in today's video, I'm going to be making an appeal or a reach out. I don't know if you're there and you're somebody who can be in a position to help or has gone through something like this. Please reach out and let's see how we can help other women who are going through this. What is it? Find out soon, and please do not forget to subscribe and to share this video because it might actually save a life. Welcome. I know I hardly ever do videos where I appeal to people or where I talk about something so serious. I know most of you are used to seeing Jacinta having a very happy, go lucky kind of face whenever I'm doing my other videos. But today, my heart is heavy. Today, I'm saddened. Most of the time, when you see me without makeup, you know that I'm here to do something very raw, very vulnerable. And today is not going to be an exception. Why? Because I just spoke to this lady. This is not the first lady that is actually asking me about this kind of situation. I have had so many of them. And I must say that my heart is very, very saddened, especially being a Kenyan woman. I do not know where we can find help, especially as women who have been in toxic relationships or who are still in toxic relationships. I spoke to this lady, and like I say, she's not an exception, but I'll just use this lady as a study case because I speak to so many women who are going through this. So my lady here got into this relationship when she was 22. When she was 22, she got into a relationship with this man, and they proceeded to date for 6 years. And as they were dating, one day she would actually suspect that she's not the one, or she's not the only one, because he was still having affairs left, right, and center. But still, that did not stop her from proceeding with this relationship, even when this guy officially started referring to her as the wife and even went ahead to get pregnant for him. She told me specifically that she had to plan for this pregnancy due to this guy. For him, everything was planned out. Remember, they were together for 6 years, right? And during this whole entire time, she didn't get pregnant because it was not part of the plan. And finally, after 6 years, this guy settles her down and is like, we need to get pregnant. We need to get pregnant. And he goes ahead and rents her a house. And by then, this guy does not live with her. He actually used to have this one bedroom house that he had. Yeah. So, yes, I can see where all of us might be thinking she ignored some very basic red flags. But I always tell my ladies, please, if you can, try and not get into a relationship under the age of 25, because we are considered to be emotionally mature enough to make these decisions when we are 25 years and older. Decisions to get into relationships which will be long term, is that what I mean. So anyway, she goes ahead and has a baby. And as she's pregnant, she realizes that this guy also has another lady who is pregnant as well at the very same time. Not just pregnant, but they have kids. There was a lot of mistreatment. I'm just going to try and cut this story short. She has a baby, and then when the baby is an year and 4 months old, she still gets pregnant again. And remember that everything was planned. This guy specifically asked her when to be pregnant, and I do not think she even had a choice at this particular time. There was so much that she overlooked. There was so much that she got herself into, even though she knew that this situation was not a right situation. But haven't we all done this at some point in our lives? Let's be honest. Especially after, in the wake of the bar was so low, we have put up with a lot. I personally have. I don't know about you. Anyway, When the baby was 1 month, 1 year, 4 months, and she was pregnant, this man brings the baby. The baby, she had the firstborn for her was a daughter, and the other woman got a son who was 8 months younger. This man comes in with a baby and drops the baby with this woman and asks that she takes care of this baby, no questions asked. And whenever she tried to ask, this guy would be so angry. So she did not want to anger this man, and she continued. Now, if by now you have not already noticed, we are not just dealing with an abusive person or a toxic person here. We're dealing with a narcissist. His moves are very calculated. He knows exactly what he's doing and how he's doing it. Fast forward, she has this baby. Now she's pregnant and she has 2 kids. What happens next? She comes to learn that this other lady is still pregnant. Fast forward, this guy gives her an ultimatum when she already has 2 kids and she's starting to settle down and have a job. She gives this lady an ultimatum. I want you to meet the other lady, and even pays a trip for the both of them to bond. And on top of that, he even asked that these 2 women move to Nairobi. They were not living in Nairobi. I'll not tell you the place just to protect the identity of this woman. But they both moved to Nairobi, and she's threatened. If you do not leave your job and move Nairobi, I'm going to take away these kids. Something worth noting is that this man is very rich and is very powerful. Very rich and very powerful. And so she did not have a choice. If she wanted to be in her kids' life, by then they were around 4, they were very young. She decides to go to Nairobi with a co-wife. And they live in one house for a while, in a 2-bedroom house for a while. And then later on, they took different houses. And in that same complex, they steal another lady in the picture. Yes, it was that crazy. When some of these stories I hear, and I'm like, do they still happen, or is this a movie? But to be honest, I have heard them so many times from different types of women that I know that these are facts and this is the truth. So anyway, after very many years, because all this started back in 2008, finally last year in December, she leaves the relationship and she takes her kids. And what happens? This man fights her for custody, and not just any custody, but full custody. She was only given the weekend to spend with these kids. As if that is not enough, the lady who was supposed to check on the welfare of the kids even confessed to her that she was bribed to write a report to say that she's not fit to be a mother. And so the judge granted custody of these children to this man. And whereby she was only given the weekend to see the kids, where they were even supposed to come see her. These kids do not want anything to do with her. They have been brainwashed, even went ahead to buy them very expensive gadgets, taking them to big schools and threaten them, if you talk to your mom, then I'm going to take you to a public school. These kids are now 10 and 12. So you can imagine from their little minds. She's at a point where these kids will not even talk to her. She has tried to fight back and get custody, but everybody, including the lawyers to this man, say that the kids are better off. They do not want to be with their mother. And so the court has maintained that these kids should stay with this man. I say this, and where I talked about, I'm appealing to somebody who has ever been in this situation, because I have dealt with toxic, I have dealt with abusive, but I know when it comes to dealing with a narcissist, that is a whole different ballgame. My advice to the woman was to ask her to first of all, find her power. Find her power, because sadly, she was even told when she went to FIDA that when it comes to justice in Kenya, it is given to the one who has the money. And you can imagine money and ego and kids. Those are the most powerful tools to a narcissist when he wants to beat you hands down. So if you're there and you're watching this video, or you have been in such a situation, because this lady is so concerned about losing her kids, And sadly, one or the other, not only has she lost these kids physically, but she has also lost them emotionally, because even when she goes to see them, even in school, they do not want to see her. Whenever she calls her daughter, the daughter says that she's busy. When she asks, "What are you busy doing?" she says she's listening to music. The son, who is younger, who is 10, insists that, "Mom, we need you to come back and come back home and be a part of the family. If you're not, then we don't want to talk to you." These are your own kids telling you that. She's in so much pain. She's in so much pain. And honestly, I have heard so many of these stories, and they have really touched my heart, and they have broken me over and over again. I will not lie to you. And especially with our justice system in Kenya, which does not favor you if you do not have money and power. It just adds, it's like adding the fuel to this fire. So if you're a woman who has ever gone through this, or you're going through this, please reach out to me, because you know of a support system that is out there. I know living a narcissistic kind of relationship or abuse, this calls for you to be in a very different position. It calls for you to have support, not just from therapy or coaches and family, but also other people who have gone through the very same situation that you have gone through. So if you're there and you're in this position, please reach out to me. You can comment, and if you can't comment, feel free to DM me in any of my other socials. Let me know, is there a support system out there that I can be referring these women to? Because some of these things as a coach, I'm honestly limited, but I am very passionate about this subject. Like I've said, I have been in a toxic relationship before. I have dealt with narcissists before, but I have never been married to one. And I just know that these women are so broken. They need more support than just therapy and coaching. They would love to be in a community where they would feel understood and seen. Yeah. So if you know somebody who has been in that situation, please reach out to me, and let's help out these women. And how do you navigate such a system that really doesn't serve women like this? Let me know in the comment below. This was all for this video. I'll see you in the next videos. Hopefully they will not be as sad as this one is. We always hope for the better. That is why I preach, and I'm a believer of aligned love. Because my dear, right from the beginning, if you choose the wrong person, you're starting a battle that might drain the life out of you. You're starting an internal war and an external one, like I have seen with most of these women. So choose right. And there are good men out there. There are good partners out there. There are people who will not abuse you. There are people who will not use you and misuse you, manipulate you to get their way. And if you're such a person who is dealing with this, please find help. Find help. Because you're not just disrupting the life of this one woman that you're abusing, but even these children. They can have everything that they need physically, but mentally, emotionally, they are not in a good space. Thank you so much for each and everyone who has subscribed to this channel. Please continue subscribing, continue liking, and share this video with somebody that you know might benefit from this information. Until next time, bye-bye.